Hello everyone, welcome to Programming with Ballerina 101 video series. My name is Joy Ratnayaka and I welcome you to join me this exciting journey to explore another uncharted territory. Learning a new programming language is always an exciting thing, but why? Why another new language when we have learned so many including C, C++, Java, C Sharp, Python, etc. Well, Ballerina was initially invented or conceptualized as a base of a language centric middleware or integration platform. It's not just yet another programming language, it comes with many features and its own characteristics to cater the modern cloud native programming. In this video series, I'm going to explore the programming model, language features, benefits in terms of integration, development friendliness, data access, etc. Before we dive into the language specifics, let's learn a little bit about the language, history, and how to set it up, and that's the objective of this short video. Let's get started. So first of all, let me repeat once again. Ballerina was initially invented or conceptualized as a base of a language centric middleware or integration platform. So, Ballerina is an open source programming language for the cloud that makes it easy to use, combine, and create network services. So, it's a network friendly programming language, which is one of the main characteristics as part of the modern cloud native application development. So Ballerina 1.0 released in September 2019, and if you look at the ballerina.io, which is the official website, we have bunch of high level feature areas why you should Ballerina. So first is the cloud native development friendliness. It's designed for cloud native development, in other words. So if you explore in cloud native development, you will see network friendly type system and the easy of developing services and the support for async protocols, async network protocols. So these are some of the capabilities of the cloud native development support provided by Ballerina. And if you look at the other feature areas why you should Ballerina: flexible type system, data oriented capabilities, and the support for graphical diagrams, sequence diagrams, where you can keep your code and diagram in sync uh, as as something challenging we have seen in the past, and the concurrent, reliable, maintainable nature of the language. So if you look at each and every feature area, if you explore each and every area, you will see what does it mean by each and every feature area. So what does it mean by flexibility typed? So you have statically type or static type system in Ballerina, which we'll discuss in detail in a later video. And if you look at the subtypes in Ballerina, we have a support for records, unions, and things like that. And then the data oriented nature of the language. So you have language integrated query support, where you can write SQL like queries to get your data easily. And if you look at the graphical support, as you can see here, you can keep your code and graphical a diagram in sync always, whereas traditionally what happens is you draw the diagram first and then you start writing the code and you keep improving the code, but you forget to improve your diagram. So when you compare your code and the diagram, after some time you will see code and the diagram is not in sync. Whereas in Ballerina, whenever you write code, the diagram get updated automatically behind the scene. And the concurrency in Ballerina is enabled, and which provides lightweight threads, and the concurrency model, as you can see, support both threads and uh, many other capabilities. Um, and also the reliable and maintainable nature of the language is another first class capability when it comes to cloud native development. Explicit error handling, error checking, type checking are some of the features which we will explore in detail in upcoming videos. So take some time to go through each and every feature area so you can convince yourself that you should spend some time and learn the language. And one good news is Ballerina also use the syntax and semantics of the other popular languages like C, C++, Java, C Sharp. So the learning curve is very, very minimal. You can learn the language very easily, as I did, and you can get started with the language very quickly. So you also have few examples in this section, Ballerina in action. The website will may be little different when you check this, as WSO2, who has invented the language, we keeps on updating the website. But as you can see here, so there are some examples what you can do with the language. So you can consume services, and you will see the diagram it has generated for this piece of code, and you can work with data and developing RESTful services, working with gRPC APIs, GraphQL APIs. So these are some of the examples provided in the website. So let's also look at how you can play with the language without really downloading and setting it up. If you go to playground option over here, you will get a Ballerina playground where you can write some code and experience without installing and configuring the language. By the way, the installation and configuration is super easy. I shall show you today. So this is the Ballerina playground. So you have the public function main, which is the entry point, and when you run this, it says hello Ballerina, right? So you can write another line of code. So you can say IO println. We can write the usual hello world statement, which every programmer would like to write as their first statement. So now you will see the hello world also appearing after hello Ballerina. So this is a playground which you can write Ballerina code and run it yourself and see how it behaves. So let me also now look at the installation part. So if you click get started, it will take you to this get started page where it will give you some high level steps on installation, and then writing your first Ballerina program, right? Also, if you go to download option over here, so it will take you to the same link here in step 1. Let's go there. So that's the first thing we need to do. So if you go to download, the current version is shown like update 6, and depending on your operating system, you can pick the MSI, or if it is Linux or Mac OS, you can pick whatever the distribution you need, and you can look at the release notes, and also you can see past versions as well under archived versions. And there are also other installation options provided using Homebrew or zip or source. So what you can do, you can download depending on your operating system, run the executable. So this you have to do only the first time. So once you install the binaries for the first time, when you want to update the language, it will be super easy. As any other product provided by WSO2, we have an inbuilt update mechanism. So I have already downloaded and installed Ballerina binaries. So how you can verify whether Ballerina has installed properly, you can go to the command prompt and you can run bal uh, sorry, it should be bal version. So it says Ballerina Swan Lake update 3. So that's a update version, that's a version I have. Language specification 2022 R4. And as you can see, there is update tool version also listed here, update tool 1.3.15. So that's the tool we are going to use in order to update the product or the language. For example, you can say bell update in case if you want to update. So now it says permission denied. So you need to run with the administrative permissions. So you can say sudo bell update and give my password. So it's right, so it's first update the Ballerina update tool. So I have the latest version of the Ballerina update tool. Now what I want to do is I need to run this command sudo bell dist update, which will fetch the latest version of the language, as you can see, and it updates the language binaries with the latest version. So you don't have to download when there is a new version release, you don't have to download and uninstall the previous version and reinstall with the latest one. You have to simply update the binaries using this in place update tool. Let's give it a couple of seconds to finish the update. Right, it says successfully set the distribution to the latest version. So what you can do is you can say bell version again to see what's the current version. So as you can see, when I started this command prompt, I had shown like update 3. After the update, it says shown like update 6, which is the one listed over here on the website. So as you can see, installation and the update is super easy. It will take the complexity of installing and keeping the language update away from developers with a simple command, right? So I think we are done with the first step, installing, and we verified. And also you need to use VS Code. It will be super faster and easier with its own productivity capabilities rather than using a simple text editor. So what you can do, you can download the VS Code and then you can install the VS Code, and after that there is a VS Code extension for Ballerina, right? So you can install the VS Code edition. It should be 1.60 or later, and then you can install the Ballerina. Of course we have done that, and then install the Ballerina VS Code extension, right? So this Ballerina extension basically provides a lot of developer productivity capabilities, including code completion, error highlights, and also debugging, compiling and running your survey. So you go through this page, you'll see all the information related to the Ballerina extension of VS Code. And if you go to this link over here, Ballerina Visual Studio Code extension documentation, so you will be able to explore what's part of this extension. Go through run option, you will see how to run the program, and what are the intelligence capabilities you get, code navigation features, what are the different code actions, and I may use some of these things in future videos. Okay, so we have basically gone through the main steps. We have installed Ballerina, updated to the latest version. We set up the VS Code and the Ballerina extension. Now what we have also done is we have verified the Ballerina version and the installation. So the next thing is creating a new package. So Ballerina language consists of packages, and the package contains modules, and the module contains one or more .bal files. .bal is the extension for Ballerina programs. So as you can see, let me go to my command prompt and first of all clear it, and I can say bal new hello world, and it creates a new package. Create a new package called hello world at this particular location. And if you give ls-l command to list, okay, let me go to hello world first. So if you list down all the directories and files inside that package folder, you will see there is a file called main.bal, which is the Ballerina programming program file. And then we also have another file called ballerina.toml, which contains all the package information, right? So basically we'll create a folder structure, something similar to this ballerina.toml file and here Ballerina file. So what you can do is you can basically open this program in VS Code. So as you can see here, let's look at the ballerina.toml file, and again you have automatically set your organization to your username and the name of the package version. So this is the organization name, which will come really handy when we are creating new packages. So this is the configuration file, package configuration file. And if you look at the main file, main.bal file, this is where you have your actual program. So it starts with an import statement and public function main, and then println hello world. So this is the one we tested in the playground. So we can explore more and more language capabilities. Just I want to show you this is the program structure it generates when you create a new package using the command line, and you can run it using VS Code capabilities provided. It automatically compiles my program, and it says hello world. Woohoo! So we wrote our first program in Ballerina and we executed it, and we got the a response as well. Okay, so let's also explore a few other things in this website. So if you go to this get started page, so we have written our first program and we have executed. All looks good. So these are some of the commands if you're going to run it from the command line and not from the VS Code. Of course you can try it out if you are a terminal friendly person, and from here onward it will show you a few examples how to write a REST API and all. So basically we will explore them one by one, and if you don't want to wait until I come up with the next video, get started with this option, examples. So when you go to Ballerina by examples, we call it BBE, So you will see bunch of examples listed under different areas. So obviously this is the Hello World program, Hello World REST service, some language basics examples, and how to deal with arrays, maps, functions, and JSON and query expressions. So you have a lot of examples where you can go through the code and learn the language, right? And So as the next step, what we can do is basically we can set up your laptop with the Ballerina and the VS Code and VS Code extension, and also try out the a language using the playground. And if you go to learn, you have some learning materials as well. Go through them, and don't forget to join the community. You can subscribe to newsletter, and also don't forget to check the blog. So we have a blog when we announce a new release, where we list down all the new capabilities of the language. So what's new in Swan Lake Update 6? You have everything documented over here. So Ballerina is an exciting programming language, and I welcome you to this exciting journey. So let's go through language basics, including various types and language constructs and different custom data types. Also how to write network friendly programs, like creating a REST service, creating a gRPC, GraphQL, creating a data service, whatnot. So take some time, download the language, install it, download the VS Code extension for Ballerina, and stay tuned. We can explore the rest of the capabilities of the language. Thank you very much.